Hopefully I don't fall off this freaking bouncy ball during this video. But hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. I'm sitting on my bouncy ball today because I have officially entered, by the time you guys watch this, I will be 20 weeks. I'm halfway now. And I have entered Thundercrotch territory. I actually had, I don't know why I'm talking about Thundercrotch. I actually entered Thundercrotch territory way long ago, like way sooner than I thought that I would. Probably around week 9, I was already feeling it, but now I'm really feeling it. And I can't sit on like even a padded surface for too long because it just starts hurting like crazy. So the only relief I get is from this little ball, and it's great. I'm not liking this angle. Also, if you watched my vlog where I chopped my hair off, you'll notice that it's shorter. I ended up chopping more off and I really like it. I feel a lot lighter. It's extremely crooked, so don't look too closely. And I think I'm actually just gonna go to my hairstylist here and chop it even more because the back is so much longer than the front. I just can't see back there. And I think I want it even shorter. So I don't know. Anyway, all that aside, today, I didn't really feel like doing a vlog this week. Vlogs are actually very tiring to film because of all the camera angles and like moving things around. It's just very, very exhausting. So I thought, why don't we do my first favorites video on this channel? And I started putting together a list and I realized I was compiling kind of like everything and the list was getting really long. So today in this video, I'm only gonna be doing a list of things that like I've purchased from different places, and they're gonna be like home related. I think in future favorites videos, I'll do a breakdown of like my favorite things that I've ever thrifted in the house, and then maybe like my favorite like beauty / self-care things, so that it's not all just kind of jumbled into one video. So today I'm just kind of focusing on the home stuff. I have quite a few things. The first thing I'm gonna show you is one you've seen a lot. If you follow my plant channel, you're probably like, spare us the freaking spiel on the squeegee broom. Dang it, I have to guys. So my mom, she brought this for me back in September. I was very confused. I was like, what is this? It looks like it's for a sporting thing. She's like, trust me, you're gonna love it. And I really, like, I don't know how I went so long without this. And I know that we're in the age right now where it's like, you have to have this and like, you can't live without it. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that like, if you don't have this, your life is so much harder. I'm not saying that. I will literally go over this whole house with my Dyson and then go back with this and get so much more dust and just like fine particle things that the Dyson missed. And I like that hair and dust doesn't stick to it like a regular broom does. So I have a regular broom, but it's kind of a pain in the butt, like when you're getting a bunch of hair or substrate, like when I'm doing my potting stuff, it just gets stuck. Like it gets stuck in the bristles and I have to like pull it off or shake it off and it goes all over the place. This does not catch anything and you just get everything in a nice neat little pile, and it's just so handy. So I highly recommend this one. This is actually a dupe. So the original one is called the Broom Bee, and I think that one retails for over $30 before taxes. I think my mom got this one on Amazon for like $15, so you don't have to get the original, get a cheaper one. It works just as well. I mean, obviously, I don't have any experience with like the actual Broom Bee, but I can't imagine anything working any better than this. Like it does everything that I need, and it's so lightweight that it's like, it's not as tiring as having like a big clunky broom or even like a vacuum if you don't want to vacuum. And if you live in an apartment like me and you like doing late night cleaning, late night potting and stuff like that, like you'll know that you have to be very mindful of the times that you're going in with a vacuum because you don't want to wake your neighbors. So this has just been so perfect. So this is going to be my first recommendation. By the way, everything that I can link in the description, I will link. Some of them will be affiliate links, and I'll put like a little asterisk next to it so that you know it's an affiliate link. You don't have to use it, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. So that one will be linked in the description. The next one is a kitchen item, and this one kind of makes me chuckle because it just reminds me of all of the like advertisements and infomercials that I had seen on TV when this first came out, and that is the slap chop. I don't know if you guys ever watched an infomercial where they're like, I mean, infomercials are just like silly in general, because like when they're trying to sell you something, they'll make everything so overly exaggerated. Like I remember I saw an infomercial about a hose, and in like the whole like, instead of doing this, and they'll have someone with a hose and it's just like firing everywhere and they're like toppling over a bush, like it's just so dramatic. They'll be like, use this instead, and they're trying to sell you this different kind of hose. So I remember with the slap chop infomercial, it would be like somebody that is just like really just like chopping like onions or chopping a tomato or something like that, and the knife is like slipping all over the place and like knife is flying. So anyway, I just get memories of those infomercials, but this is one that I absolutely do not regret getting. So if you don't know what a slap chop is, it's basically like an easy way to chop things finely. I primarily use it for onions. Like I really can't remember something else that I've used it for green onions, I've used it for cilantro, and I don't remember if I've used it for anything else. I primarily like using this for onions because then I can avoid all the like teary eyes and stuff like that. But essentially you just kind of like put the onions in here, whatever you're gonna slice up, and then you just like push down on this thing and like it just chops it, and it kind of rotates as you push down, so it like gets things nice and like diced up. And I just love using it for onions. I hate chopping onions, but I love onions, so this has been like a lifesaver, and it's so much faster than like dicing things and mincing things yourself. I think you can buy this brand new for like 20 bucks online, but I got mine from a thrift store. It was open, but it was like, it still had the box and everything looked basically unused. And yeah, I tend to not really buy a lot of like kitchen things from thrift stores because I'm a little bit grossed out by it, like buying like the wooden utensils or like even like pots and pans and stuff. I'm a bit weird about it, but this slap chop looked basically brand new. So I got it, and I don't think that I could ever not have this thing. Like if it ever went out of commission, I would totally replace it again, and they're really not that expensive. Yeah, this is gonna be my second recommendation. The next thing is also a kitchen item, and that is gonna be my Simple Human automatic soap dispenser. I've had this since 2017, so going on 7 years now of having it. I did get the same one for my sister-in-law, but hers broke after like a pretty short time. Like I think I got hers in 2019 or something like that, and it was only in commission for maybe about a year or a year and a half until it eventually broke. I'm not quite sure if it was just like a dud or whatever, but this has been going on strong for 6-7 years now, and I've never had a single issue with it. I make sure to only use dish soap with it, and I try to not use anything that could seem kind of like clogging, so I avoid any kind of soap that has like essential oils or things like that where it can get a little bit gross in there. I do clean this thing pretty often, like whenever I'm wiping down my sink or like cleaning my sink, I do like a deep clean of this one. I make sure to clean like the little nozzle, and yeah, it's worked so well for me. I actually want to switch to another, not switch to, but I want to get another one for our our hand soap. So we have the dish soap, and then I have like one that you pump for the hand soap. But after having this, it's just like so much more convenient. So I think I'm gonna move this one into like my bathroom, and then I'll get 2 matching ones for the kitchen. So like I said, I got mine for a little bit under $60 because I used the coupon, but I was on Amazon, and there's so many just like generic ones that you can get. I saw one for $25. I saw a 2-pack for like $35, that's probably the one that I'm gonna get. But it's just so much easier when you're like washing dishes, and it's just one less thing to do with your hands. So like if you're washing like a pot, instead of having to put the pot down and like hold it and push the soap It's so much easier to just automatically put it under there. I will say though that the one drawback is it doesn't register dark colors. So if I have like a black sponge or anything that's like really, really tiny, it doesn't register it. So you have to, I mean, I've gotten pretty good at tricking it. So I'll like kind of swipe my whole hand under it so that it catches my hand, and then I'll get the soap on whatever I'm trying to get. But other than that, I have not had issues with it and I love it a lot. I wish that this is the one that I want for the kitchen, but I would need 2 of them and they're very expensive, and I think they're only available in the States. And it's just a little bit too much, but they're nice because they're black, and obviously that's kind of like the aesthetic I've got going on in my kitchen. But honestly, I'm probably just gonna end up getting like 2 of the cheapest ones that I can find on Amazon because I just want it to be functional. So yeah, that's another one that I would recommend. I will link a dupe in the description. I'm gonna try and find one with high reviews so that maybe you can see if you wanna get that one. The next 2 are actually cleaning products, and I was thinking, and I probably could still do this, like doing a whole dedicated video on the cleaning, like all the cleaning products I use in my house, the cleaning tools and stuff like that. But I wanted to at least mention these 2 in this video. So the first one is going to be Dawn Power Wash. And I first discovered this when I went camping with my friend Lauren. We had made s'mores on these like metal, you know, like those s'mores things you stick like the marshmallows on there and you can roast it over the fire. Well, the marshmallows had gotten so caked on to the metal prongs, and it was just like hard, like it just hardened, and it was so hard to get off. And all she did was just kind of lay it down. She sprayed some of this, and it comes out like a foam, and it just like lifted it completely, and it was so clean. And so I picked up a bottle as soon as we came back from that trip, and I had been using it on things like my sink, my kitchen sink. I've been using it on caked on pans, caked on baking sheets, things like that. If I'm cooking something in a pot where something got really, really like stuck on there, I just spray this, let it sit for a little bit, and it literally just like slides right off. It's not that expensive either. I picked this up at Walmart for, I think it was like $7 for this little guy, and then you can buy the replacement bottles and not the whole thing for like, I think it's like $1.50 cheaper or something. I've also seen the replacements at the dollar store as well. So I love Dawn Power Wash. If you can try it out, I would. It's on, to me, it's worth it. The smell is very strong, and I haven't really been using it a lot recently because I'm trying to avoid chemicals and cleaning products while I'm pregnant, but I do love it, and I highly recommend it. So the next thing is gonna be Bon Ami. I learned about this from my friend Alice. It is a glass cleaner, and it puts Windex to absolute shame. This makes Windex perform like water. I'll go over a window with Windex and it'll look clean, and then I'll go over it with Bon Ami and it's like completely see-through. Sometimes I worry that a bird will fly into my window, and it actually happened once where a bird flew into my window, and I will post a picture here. I did rescue it and I nurtured it back to life. We became friends over a day, and then I had to let her go, or him go. But yeah, be careful with these if you have birds that constantly fly into your windows. It does make everything so clean. It's also a foam. I use it on glass, and I also use it on, if you look behind me, the world's most annoying backsplash. I get compliments on it all the time where people are like, oh my God, it's so nice, it's so fancy. It's a pain in the ass, you guys. It's basically like having a mirror as a backsplash where you're cooking and constantly splashing things. So if you get really close, you can see all the grime, all the splatters, every single fingerprint, everything. It's so annoying. If I owned this place, as nice as it looks from afar or whatever, if I owned this place, that would be the first thing that I replace. I would want it gone. I just can't stand it. It's always so dirty and it's so hard to clean, but usually I will just use Bon Ami and it'll make it look basically like a mirror again. Anywho, if you're looking for a new glass cleaner, give this stuff a try. They sell it, well, I don't know if they sell it in the States actually. Maybe? I think they might sell it on Amazon, but you might have to get it on like Amazon Canada, and there's probably gonna be like import fees and stuff like that. I don't know, but you can find this pretty much at any grocery store here in Canada. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, next up is not this thing. So I actually wanted to show you this one. So this is an electric frother, or an automatic frother. I got this from Amazon for a whopping $12 for this guy, and it basically just like froths and makes things into a foam. It mixes things really well. Like when I make my matchas, I'll go back in with that one after I had been like whisking it or stirring it, and then it gets everything really nice and mixed and kind of creates a little bit of that foam. I got that in replacement of this. So this is my Nespresso Airchino 2. This used to be like my favorite thing ever, and it basically can make anything into like a warm, frothy foam, and it's amazing. It's definitely a luxury if you are like super into your morning beverages or whatever, coffee. And it's not that I don't love this thing anymore. I've actually had it for a few years now, probably going on like 8 years. It's great. I would actually recommend this too. They have a lot more newer models with like all like the brand new gadgets and like different buttons. This one just does one thing. It just froths and makes it warm. Oh my God, I need to stop doing that. The only reason that I stopped using this thing is just pure laziness of not wanting to clean it. You know, you can't just like stick this whole thing in a dishwasher. I can't just run this under the water. Like I have to be very careful about cleaning it. You have to like really go in there and like use a soft cloth to wipe everything down. And it was just kind of like a pain in the ass after a while. Yeah, I switched over to this one because it's just so much easier. All you have to do is just like run it underwater and it's clean. No, it does not make it nice and warm like that one, but for the most part, I'm really just drinking cold beverages now, and so the need to have it warm is just not there like it used to be. So I highly recommend getting one of these, even if you don't drink coffee. If you drink like, I don't know, yeah, like a matcha or like protein shakes or something like that, like this is a great way to just get everything nice and mixed. The next one I'm actually not gonna like bring out here because it's quite large, but I will throw in a photo of the one that I have, and that is the air fryer. So this one is a newer acquisition. My parents bought it for me for my birthday last year. So I've had it for maybe 2-3 months now. It was, I think, $150, and there was like maybe like a $25 coupon when they got it. So just a little bit over $100. And pretty much everyone in my family had an air fryer already, and they just raved about it. I remember being back home in California, my mom made like a traditional Filipino breakfast. And if you guys know what tocino is, it's basically like a sweet caramelized pork. I'm not a huge, like I really don't eat pork, but tocino is like one of my exceptions, and bacon, but I'm just not a huge pork eater. But when someone prepares tocino or I prepare tocino, it has to be cooked a certain way. I like when it's really, really cooked, like not undercooked, but I don't like it really like soft and squishy. I like it to be a little bit on the firmer side with like the charred edges. And when you cook tocino on the stove, it takes a long time to get that char, and sometimes you have to add even more sugar, which is not ideal, obviously, for health reasons. But in the air fryer, it takes like probably 10 to 12 minutes to cook it exactly the way I like, with that perfect amount of char. And it's just so easy to cook things now. I've been making French fries, I made Spam in there, I made fish balls in there, just like the most random things. Like it's been so nice to not have to like pull out a pot or pull out a pan or use the oven. It's just as quick as like setting a temperature, setting a time, and just kind of calling it a day. The one thing that I was hesitant about was the maintenance of the cleaning. So it just seemed like when I looked at my mom's air fryer, like, and this is before I knew how it worked, I was like, God, this seems like such a pain in the butt to clean. But everything that gets dirty is for the most part, I think this is pretty much all air fryers across the board. The part that actually has the food in it, it's dishwasher safe. It's a lot easier than I thought, and it's way less cleanup than if I were to make that same dish in the oven or on the stove. So this thing has been a lifesaver. There have been so many times where I've had just a crazy work day or like pregnant, not feeling well, and I just need a quick meal for me or Vince, and I've been able to just like straight from the freezer throw something in there, set it for 10-15 minutes, and it's done. Like, it's just so magical. I really cannot imagine life now without an air fryer, and that sounds so like, you know, first world, whatever, but I mean, it's true. Like, it's been, the convenience of it has paid itself off tenfold. I mean, another reason why I fought the air fryer for so long was because of counter space. I really don't like the look of having too many things on my counter. Well, I mean, now that I'm having a baby, I'm gonna have to kind of just give up the idea of having a very like minimal kitchen, but it's okay. I'm there. I'm ready to give in to that. But prior to me even getting pregnant, like, I really don't like a lot on my countertops. Like, you can see right now, it's really just air fryer, my electric kettle, my little frother, and then in the corner is where, like, honestly, this corner right here, it's probably hard to tell, that's usually just completely empty, but since I've been pregnant, I keep all my like snacks and my vitamins there. So yeah, I just don't really like lots of things on the counters. And so I was like, ugh, that means like unless I have somewhere to put it, I'm gonna have to like permanently have a spot for it on the counter. But honestly, it's not that bad. Like, it looks like it kind of blends in. It looks like it's just another appliance, and it's not really like an eyesore. I like that it's black, very discreet, but yeah, I just cannot live without that thing now. The next thing is something I recently discovered. I discovered this through TikTok, and this is the, I always say Swiffer, but it's not Swiffer. It's, what's that? Scrub Daddy. It's like the Scrub Daddy brand duster. So right now it's rock hard because it's hard before it gets wet. That's what he said. Yeah, it's basically just a sponge that acts as a duster, and you just like, it just slides off the dust, all the dust that gets stuck in here. You just run it under water and it just comes right off. It's nice because you use it when it's wet, so it's not like a dry duster where like, you know, you dust and then things kind of like kick up. Because I have this Swiffer duster. I've tried so many dusters in my life because I am just so dust averse. I hate dust so much. It's like my kryptonite. Styrofoam and dust. And this is kind of gross, but like, I developed this OCD with dust, and anytime that I see dust, anytime that I can see it floating in the air, for like the next hour, all I do is spit. Like, I have to spit because I feel like it's in my mouth. And it's been so bad to the point where I get headaches from the motion of spitting so much. And not only that, I have a hand washing OCD where like, yeah, if I see dust, around dust, I feel like my hands aren't clean. So I'll wash my hands, and then a little bit of time will go on. I'll feel like I still have dust on my hands, have to wash it again. So this whole crazy thing developed all because of dust. And so over the years, it's like the heavens are opening up. What is happening back there? Yeah, I've kind of searched high and low for the perfect dusting tool or something to help with the dust, especially in this apartment where there's so much light, and I have a dog and there's dust everywhere. Like, it's all fun and dandy, you know, on a nice sunny day living in a beautiful apartment like this, until you see the sun hit every surface of the house and you just see a layer of dust. So yeah, this has been probably my favorite thing I've used so far in terms of dust, because it doesn't do that kick up motion. Since it's wet, everything sticks to it, and yeah, it just easily washes away. And so I use this on like the corners of my house, baseboards, any kind of like shelf surfaces, on my table, and it's come in really handy. And I really don't see this thing like deteriorating at all. Like, I don't know how they're making money if everybody is just kind of using the same ones. Like, I got a pack of 4 for $8, or actually it was a pack of 5. I think for $8. So it was super, super cheap. But yeah, highly, highly recommend this. And this is not the Scrub Daddy brand. This is a dupe. It's a generic brand on Amazon. And then another cleaning product is this pumice stone. So my mom gave me like a pack of 5 or 6 of them. And I really didn't know what the heck I would be using this for, honestly, because it's like, it feels just like those pumice stones that you use like for your feet and stuff. But she showed me how she uses this. So she first used it in my bathroom. If you guys don't know what my bathroom looks like, I have like one of those walk-in showers and it's just all glass. And it's really pretty, but again, lots of hard water stains, and when it's not clean, it just looks nasty. And I had these water stains on there that I really couldn't get off. I even have like a hard water stain remover that I tried using and it still didn't work. This stuff took it off so easily. I was a little bit worried about using a stone on glass because it just seems really abrasive, but like you didn't even have to put that much pressure. You just kind of like wipe it across and it just takes it right off and leaves no scratches on the glass or anything. Like, trust me, I really looked because I was paranoid when my mom was cleaning because I'm like, you know, this is a rental. I want to get my security deposit back, but not a single scratch. She even used this on the countertops in my bathroom. So that's been one huge, and this is gonna sound so dumb, that was one huge insecurity that I had in this house. So the builders or the designers of this building, they thought it was a great idea to use a kind of stone in the bathrooms that absorb everything. It absorbs water, it doesn't repel it, it just holds on to everything. So the counters look so disgusting. They look so dirty. I wish I had a before picture of when my mom cleaned it. It like literally looked like toothpaste stains everywhere. It just looked like I had never washed my countertops, and I would try everything to like cover it. I used to have like this mat that I would keep in the bathroom to cover most of the countertops, and then I'd put like a towel on the right side because I didn't want guests coming over thinking like, okay, she literally has just like stains all over the counter, just grime all over the countertop. Like, does she not ever like clean in here? And she used this and it got like, I want to say 80% of it off. It's still not 100% cleaned off, but it's so much better than it was before, to the point where like I've been comfortable enough to remove the mat and I don't feel very self-conscious when guests come over. I was worried that this would scratch the stone because it's like, it feels unfinished. Like it doesn't have like a varnish over the top, or it doesn't have like a sealed protective layer, which is why everything seeps into it. I know a lot of people in our building have replaced all the countertops in their bathrooms because it's so bad, and I really thought this was gonna like scratch the ever-living crap out of it. And again, not a single scratch, and it looks so good. So I don't know how much she bought those for, but yeah, I will link it in the description. I did find a little pack of them and they're not very expensive at all. The next one is my favorite one on the list, and that is gonna be a disco ball. I know it sounds crazy, but just hear me out, okay? I acquired this disco ball, I think it was in 2022, from my friend Erin. She is a event planner and she did one installation on like a massive Christmas tree, I think, where she ended up having like 20 something disco balls. So we were at her house one day and she's like, do you guys want some? Like I have so many, and like she needed storage space. So I took home 2 disco balls. This is the biggest one. I think the diameter is 12 inches. I have had this hanging, I basically just had it in my living room. So I had it hanging in my south-facing window. Now it's kind of just sitting on my ledge. And it actually works better sitting on the ledge rather than being hung. But the projections of the disco ball in the house on a sunny day, it is so healing. It is so serotonin inducing. There are no words to describe it. Like, I feel like as much as the next person, well, maybe not as much as the next person, I would consider myself kind of like a mild minimalist, not like a crazy minimalist. Like, I don't consider myself like a completely beige person. I can feel one of my hairs tickling my arms. Like, I would say for the most part, yes, like a lot of my furniture is like black, beige, kind of like the earth tones and the neutrals, but I like having little bits and pieces here and there that bring a little bit of character to the space. And I feel like this disco ball has been one of them. And not only does it like look cool to just have a disco ball in the house, some people have said it's tacky, but I mostly like it just for the projections that it leaves in the room on a sunny day. And it just makes it feel so homey. It brings like this sense of like warmth and happiness to me that I just can't explain. Like whenever I can see all the little glittery, it like projects all the way into the kitchen and it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I highly recommend getting a disco ball if you are somebody that has depression or just needs a little bit of like happiness on a day-to-day basis in their homes. I have been just such a pusher for the disco ball in the house. It might look like an eyesore to some. I don't look at the disco ball and think like, oh my God, it's such a pretty decoration. Like I wish I could have them everywhere. That is not the case. I used to have a little sun catcher before the disco ball to have that same effect, but it wasn't quite the same. The disco ball definitely like amplifies things way more. So get yourself a disco ball. They're honestly, I'm not gonna lie, they're not that cheap. I was actually looking for a similar disco ball size to put in the bedroom, and it was like $90 to over $100 for this size. So I did opt to get a smaller one, but it was still like $30 or $40. But to me, it's worth it because the amount of joy that this brings me is, yeah, it's immeasurable. No, it's priceless. I've only been filming for like 45 minutes and I've already had to get up and like reapply my lip balm 3 times. One thing I was not prepared for a lot of things in pregnancy, but one thing I was not prepared for was the absolute dehydration. Like, not only am I drinking so often and having to go to the bathroom a lot, but like everything is drier. My skin is drier, my lips are drier, my mouth is drier, everything is drier, and it's just such a pain. And like my lips have been like cracking and peeling on the sides. It's not great that we're like in the middle of winter, but anyway. The next guy on the list are my headphones. So I was hesitant to post this because of the sheer price of it, and I'm really not into being the type of content creator that like pushes consumerism and like you need this, you need this, you need this. But I wanted to bring it up because my husband got this for me for a birthday gift one year. He paid like $350 for it. It's crazy. I personally would never spend that much on headphones, but he wanted to just have a little splurge for my birthday because we don't do anniversary gifts, we don't do Christmas gifts. The only time we gift things to each other are for each other's birthdays. So he did splurge on these ones. I was eyeing the Beats headphones, but those were like even more expensive, I think. I really love the new Apple headphones because they're like a lot less smaller, whereas these ones are like a little bit on the bigger side. Like they come out a lot bigger, whereas the Apple ones are like that, like maybe half this size. Besides all that, I wanted noise canceling headphones because one, when I edit my videos and there's a lot of things going on in the background at home and I need to make sure that audio levels are good, like I need something that's noise canceling. And then also with me having ADHD and just being kind of like overly stimulated in public, this has just been such a lifesaver. So I wear it at home when I'm like cleaning or I need to like focus on a task and I don't want to get distracted. The noise canceling headphones are perfect. I wear these sometimes when I go to the grocery store so that I just can focus on what I need to get. I don't get really anxious about all the people around me. I'm able to kind of tune out the things that would normally bring me anxiety. And so it was just worth it for me to have a pair of really comfortable, really good quality noise canceling headphones. But you can find dupes, not dupes, but you can find cheaper noise canceling headphones for a lot cheaper than $350. I obviously can't say anything about the quality of them and how well they work. I know some, like my sister got a pair of cheaper sound canceling headphones and hers kind of had like this static sound to it, and so I don't feel comfortable linking anything other than the ones that I have in the description. I don't want to give you a recommendation just because the ratings are higher, but I would definitely do your research If you are someone who is overly stimulated like me, or loves to just like do things around the house, pitter patter around the house, listening to podcasts, listening to music, sound canceling headphones are like, they've just been so good for me. And I like it more than my AirPods because I have really small ear holes. So when I wear my headphones for too long, I get like the worst ache on my ear that eventually leads to a headache. So even when I'm editing, I try to use these ones more because it's like less pressure on my ears. But I thought this was worth the mention because it's worked so much better into my life than I honestly thought it would be. I really thought I was just gonna use these for editing. But now when, I'm doing chores around the house, laundry, things like that, I can use these. And it's been really nice. Next one is one that I'm not going to take out, but I will scooch over a bit. And that is my Instant Pot. I kind of feel like at this point, maybe everybody has an Instant Pot, but if you don't and you've been on the fence about getting one, I'm gonna tell you that I feel like it's 500% worth it. I don't remember how I got mine. I was looking on my Amazon and I don't see any order for it, so it must have been gifted to me. I have the 6-quart one. My mom has the 3-quart or something. And for me, that one is just a little bit small, even just for 2 people. I like with the 6-quart one, I can literally put like an entire roast in there. I can put lots of like drumsticks in there, like larger pieces if I'm gonna make bigger batches of things. Because one great thing about Vince, being married to Vince, is that he is a leftovers guy. He does not mind eating the same thing a week in a row for lunch and dinner. You make him a whole batch of things. If you meal prep for him, he will eat it, no problem. He definitely eats for survival rather than for pleasure. So typically when I'm making a dish, I'm not gonna be making it ever really just for one night. I like to make things in a big enough batch that it can feed us or him for at least 3 to 4 days, because I hate cooking. So anytime I can make it faster, I will, which is why I love the air fryer. And then with the Instant Pot, I can make my rice, I can make soups, I can make stocks, I can make, roasts, and just things that would normally take a really long time on the stove, I can do so much faster in the Instant Pot. So that has been really helpful in this house, especially if you're like me and you just want to be in and out of the kitchen as fast as humanly possible. Highly recommend getting an Instant Pot. And I think that you can get the 6-quart ones on Amazon for $150, which I don't know if is that a good price? Yeah, I feel like that's, honestly, for as much use as I get out of it, I would pay $150. Next one on the list, why do I keep, I should just stay on this side. The next one on the list is going to be one that I talked about. I think I talked about this on my vlog before, or maybe it was on my plant channel. And that is my rolling laundry cart. I can't express the joy that I get from rolling, and it's such a short distance, from rolling my laundry cart from my bedroom into here where I do laundry. It's just so much better than lugging a laundry basket. The one that I have has 4 separate like hampers, I guess. So I use one for colors, one for whites, one for towels, and the 4th one has historically been used for Pudge's toys, Pudge's clothes, like anything Pudge related, but that 4th one will turn into the baby Archie's laundry basket, because again, just with like weird germy OCD things, I don't want anything that has touched poop or barf, spit up, breast milk. I don't want any of that being intermingled with my clothes. So I think I will be washing Archie's clothes and anything, all his bibs and stuff separately from our stuff. But yeah, I love this laundry cart because it's just so much easier to lug the laundry to and from where I need it to go. And then it's easy enough to just pre-separate your clothes. It was funny, I was talking to a friend about this, and he was like, nobody washes their clothes separately. Everybody just tosses it into the washer. Like, no one has time to separate. And I'm like, pretty much for the majority of the time that I've been doing my own laundry, I always do it separately. Having it pre-sorted already it's just made laundry days so much easier. And I actually quite enjoy laundry days now. I take laundry day as a way for me to like not have an excuse really, but really having an excuse to be away from work, being away from my computer, and just like sitting and either listening to a podcast or watching a movie and just taking my time to fold. Anything that can make sort of those mundane weekly tasks that you have to do a little bit more convenient, a little bit easier, I am all for it. Oh, and by the way, I got that one for $60, which to me is kind of expensive, but really everything in Canada is kind of expensive. Even with the conversion, it makes a lot of sense sometimes for me to be doing like big buys or like big hauls when I'm in the States, because things are just like, I'm not gonna say so much cheaper, but significantly cheaper than in Canada. So I definitely recommend the one that I have. It's still intact, no rips, no issues with the rolling mechanism. Like, it works just as good as when I first got it. But if you can find one cheaper, please do. Like, I don't know, $60 just seems kind of much for a rolling cart. Maybe you can even try and find one at HomeSense or Home Goods. Maybe Target might have something, or Walmart. I would say try and exhaust those areas first before resorting to Amazon. 3 things left. So the next one, I'm just gonna be showing you a photo of it, and it's actually right behind me. It's this big mirror behind me. So that is a mirror from a company here called StruckTube. And ever since I found it, I have just always thought it was such an amazing score. It's even cheaper than the mirror at like mirrors at IKEA, and I think this one looks way more expensive, or it looks way nicer than the ones at IKEA. I don't know why it was so cheap, but it was, and it was so cheap to the point where my in-laws, like my sister-in-law, actually got one shortly after I got mine. And as much as I highly recommend this one, I don't know if they're still selling it. I'll try and link it in the description if I can find it. But I'm not really saying that you need this one specifically, but if you're kind of looking for a way to elevate your space a little bit, especially if you're in a smaller space, a big mirror is a good way to kind of make things feel bigger than it is. It kind of extends the room a little bit, especially if you have a high mirror. It like makes the ceilings look taller too. I would honestly, this is just my opinion, and I don't mean to sound like the kind of person that's just like ragging on like cheaper things or whatever, but I feel like I see a lot of photos, whether on Pinterest or just on social media, of, I think, people trying to simulate that look, but they use the wrong mirrors. Like, they use the really thin ones and like skinny ones that you can get really cheap at IKEA and places like Walmart. I think if you're going to invest or splurge in any kind of decorative piece for your house, I would put more money into the mirror, just because if you can get a really nice high quality mirror in the right size for your space, it's just gonna pay itself off. Obviously this one to me was very cheap, because for this size that it is, it should have been like 3 times that price, just from what I've seen at other stores. So yeah, that's been one of my favorite things that I've gotten for this house. I have moved it around quite a bit, just depending on like where things are, but it's been living there for a long time. I think that's kind of the permanent place for it now. And I kind of wish that I could have another one for the bedroom, because it's just such a great size and great design. I think even if I switched up the furniture in my house in the future, that one can fit in with pretty much anything. The next thing has been kind of unexpected for me in terms of how much I've actually adopted the idea of incorporating it into my life long term, and that is unpaper towels. So my sister is what I guess you would say crunchy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard that word being used, but I think it's used to describe people that kind of go the all-natural route, the reusable route, eco-friendly route. And it really started with my sister using cloth diapers for the kids. I personally am just not a cloth diaper person. She's offered to teach me how to do things, and even offered to like maybe even give me some of her cloth diapers, but I just can't. I know that diapers are very like wasteful and like bad for the environment, but like I see the work that it takes to cloth diaper, and I can't see it working for me. So hats off to all of you cloth diaperers out there, because it is a lot of work. But one thing she did get me on are paper towels. So my mom actually made these for me in 2 colors. So this is like the beige color, and then she made it in black, and she made me like 60 of them or something. So we're not buying paper towels anymore, but definitely not in the quantity that we used to be. Like, we used to be able to go through like a 12-pack of Bounty paper towels in like a month, sometimes less, because I clean a lot. We use it for, you know, dinners and stuff like that. And ever since I switched to the unpaper towels, we're really only buying like 6 rolls now that last us like several months. So the last time that we bought paper towels was like in maybe August, and then we didn't have to rebuy paper towels until December. So it's been nice to not have to like spend the money on paper towels and really just not have to have so much waste too. And so we have separate ones. Oh my gosh, the sun. You'll have to excuse the lighting. So we have these paper towels that we use for us, our hands, when we're eating and stuff like that. And then the black ones are being used for like surfaces and cleaning. And really, she just bought this kind of like flannel. It's like a flannel fabric. And then she just serged the edges. And that's really all it is. So she was able to make me and all my sisters like a lifetime supply of unpaper towels for like cheap. So I've really loved using this. I did buy my sister a pack of unpaper towels for her birthday, and it was like $50 for like 24 of them, which was kind of expensive, but it was like obviously handmade from a small shop. It was like on Etsy. So I'm not trying to like not promote small businesses, but if you can make them yourselves, I would just go to Joann's or any fabric store, try and find a good absorbent fabric like this flannel, and just make it yourself. So there's that. And then the last thing that I want to put you guys on is something that I just got for Christmas, and that is this smiley face. I got it from my friend Alice. It's from I think it's from a company like originally from, I want to say Denmark or something like that. I actually saw this months ago on social media, but it was a big one. It's huge, and you put it on the floor, and it's like a floor lamp. And it was so cool, and I wanted to get it, but it was like 300 euro or something like that, like something really expensive. And I never even mentioned this to her before, like not even once, but I think she knows I'm kind of in my like healing era, and I've been adding little things like this to my house. I've been buying lots of socks with smiley faces and just kind of like getting out of this rigid, only wearing neutrals and plain clothes. Like I feel like I'm a little bit more adventurous now when it comes to the things I wear and the things that I put in this house. So anyway, it lights up. I know you can't tell. This is with the light on. I actually have this on my plant shelf now, and I'm gonna show you a video, or maybe it might have to go over this whole thing, but I'll show you what it looks like at night. It stays on for 15 minutes, so it's kind of just like a little 15 minutes of happiness or whatever. And it really does make me happier. Like, I feel like it really completed the space. It really brought a lot of character and charm, I would say, to my plant shelf. And it's really made me want the big one even more. I don't know, there's something about it that's just so fun. And I don't know, maybe one day if I save enough, I'll splurge and I'll buy the floor lamp. But for now, that has just done wonders for my mental health, you wouldn't even believe. So I think that little one was $40, either $30 or $40. I think they do have dupes on Amazon or dupes online. Obviously you can't say anything to the quality of them, but I will link the one that I have in the description, and I just recommend it if you're looking for a fun little thing to add in terms of a decorative piece to your house. That was way longer than I thought it was gonna be. I know I kind of touched on the cleaning products a little bit, but I think I will, now that I'm thinking about it, do like a whole dedicated video on basically every single cleaning product that I have in this house. I think there's enough people on this channel that are really solely here for the cleaning stuff that could be of interest to you. So I will see if I can get that into the queue. Maybe in a couple weeks, I'll do another favorites video. Let me know if you want it to be the vintage scores that I've found over the years, or if you want it to be like beauty or cleaning. Let me know. Let me know. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys for watching another video. Thank you for being here on the vlog. Thank you for all of the sweet comments that you guys have been leaving on my last videos regarding my pregnancy and, you know, just the Archie talk and stuff like that. Like, there have been so many moms who have chimed in regarding all of the concerns that I had and have about having a baby, and you guys have just been so reassuring, and I feel like I have this like little support system here. So I'm really, really grateful. Thank you all for taking the time to share those experiences and thoughts with me. Yeah, me and my husband have just been enjoying reading all of your comments. So anywho, thank you guys again for being here. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.